Hello, welcome back to my channel, World War Problems. Today I got an interesting tale for you. Today I got evacuated from my house. Okay, so my wife called me up out of the blue at work, and I was like, okay, she never calls me at work, right? And I answer the phone, and she's like, yeah, there's a fire literally right down the street from us. Uh, uh, we I don't know. Right now, it's like level one, level two, but the thing can get crazy. Uh, we just had a fire last week that literally wiped out a whole town, pretty much, not too far from here. So it's pretty crazy. And so I live in the inland northwest, this is Spokane, Washington, um, and this is what it's like this time of year. Nice and smoky. It's great for the lungs, builds character. So, yeah, the smoke is crazy. So, in the back here, over my shoulder, normally you can see like two sets of mountain ranges back there. Not today. I can barely see my neighbor. I barely see that tree line right there. So right now I'm at a level one fire danger. So they just put out the fire, um, and so now we could technically come back to our homes. And they just said keep a lookout, make sure it could spark up anytime soon, especially if the winds pick up. We got really lucky today. There was very mild wind, almost nothing. So that really kept the fire to a minimum. But if this happened a couple days ago, oh man, like I said, it wiped out the whole town. It was jumping lakes and everything else. The ambers would fly, and we probably had. I don't even know what kind of wind speeds they were. Probably, I'd say 30, 40 miles an hour, my guesstimate. And it's been really hot and really dry here. We just got done with about a week straight of 100-degree weather, and I don't even think it's rained here in weeks, if not months. It's been pretty dry, yeah. And so, which is pretty average for Spokane. But and normally we do have a kind of a smoky haze, usually comes from Canada or somewhere else in the state. But this is local. This is in your face right here right now. And so yeah, so this was a real good eye-opener. Like I said, this is out of the blue. Wasn't prepared for it. Came home, um, and my wife was pretty much already packed. She had the kids packed, ready to go. And so I just kind of, hooked up my travel trailer, got that ready to go. And so, yeah, at any time I could have just pulled out of here, and been safe probably. But yeah, so I actually ended up sticking around, which is, you know, you can say what you will about that. But I just kind of stuck around and, set sprinklers, trimmed some trees, and just kind of kept an eye on things. I trimmed down some dead grass and whatnot. Because as you can see behind me, I mean, it is just bone dry grass all around me. And I got a few overgrown trees that needed some maintenance. And yeah, so one of my nephews, Brandon, came over. Shout out to Brandon. He came over and helped me out. Kudos to you. Helped me trim some trees, and I made sure I was safe. And yeah, but the rest of my family, yeah, they went over to her sister's house and hung out with. They grabbed all the animals. I can't believe it, except for we didn't grab the chickens, and there was actually one of our cats was hiding in the house, and we couldn't find it. And so we're like, oh my gosh, okay, we'll just deal with it. But I was still here, so I was hoping maybe it'd pop up or something like that. But in the meantime, luckily nothing happened. And they um, got control of the fire. But like I said, everybody around me was hightailing out of here. They were telling us to evacuate. There's fire trucks all up and down my driveway and everything, and it was not good. And I was afraid if I left, they wouldn't let me back in. So I kind of stuck it out to the very end, and yeah, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. Is that smart? I don't know. Leave a comment down below. Yeah. So did I make a lot of mistakes? Yes, definitely. I told my wife that this is a great learning experience for an SHTF situation, which I've been talking about for years. What I mean? Not necessarily fires, but it could be something else. Some sort of, it could be some sort of pandemic or whatever. What I mean? So it's always good to be prepared, and you never know what it's going to be. Like today, it was a fire. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, now granted, yeah, I mean it is fire season. There is a fire season in Spokane, so you definitely have to watch out for that. So you always have that in the back of your head, but you never think it's going to happen to you. And apparently this one was man-caused. So apparently there are. So if you look over my shoulder, that's basically where the fire started, back in those woods right there. Now, on a clear day, you can actually see almost downtown Spokane from here. So if you go that way, it's more civilization, right? So why is there a guy camping? And so apparently there was a guy camping in the woods that had a campfire. And why would you have a campfire in the middle of the day when it's like 90 degrees out? So I'm thinking he was cooking or something, and or maybe threw a cigarette butt down. I don't know. That's my assumption. It's all speculation, but I know there are some homeless people that live out in the woods. I see their fires sometimes in the wintertime, and just randomly out in the woods. Yeah, because there is a big homeless problem here. And they cleaned it up a lot, but it's still bad. Yeah, it's still pretty underground, and so like you said, you just never know what's going to happen. I mean, there could be some homeless guy in my backyard tomorrow and starting a fire. Who knows? So you got to be prepared for that. And so what I would like to do is make another video later, showing all the mistakes I made and anything I can improve on in a situation like this, or so that way I can be more prepared, because I felt like it took me way too long to gather all my stuff. I was really proud of my wife. She really stepped it up and got the family out of here and safe, and that's really all I care about is my family, and so, but once they were gone, I was like, chill. and she kind of gets mad at me sometimes. I apologize, honey, for that. But as long as I know you're safe, I'm okay. Because I know I can take care of myself. So I just deal with it. But it stresses her out. So I apologize for that, honey. And so let's take back and take this as a learning experience and see if we can improve every single day, because that's what it's all about, right? And so tell me what you think. Tell me if you have any ideas for what to do. And because they were having some weird ideas. I saw on the news they were claiming, grab important papers like social security cards and IDs and stuff like that. And to me, that was literally like one of the last things I was thinking of. But, it does kind of make sense, that you'd want to grab, some sort of documentation showing that, who you are, for instance. But, me personally, I have my driver's license on me, and I know all that stuff can be replaced, what I mean? I try to save all my pictures and stuff on my Google Drive and whatnot, and so most of that stuff is fairly safe. I mean, granted, would I be pretty sad if I lost a lot of my stuff? Yeah. I mean, there'd be huge investments lost, and lost sentimental value to things. But But yeah, it's all about. But you can't replace yourself and your family. So take care of those. All right. Let's talk. Let's do this again, and I'll try to update this video later. Peace out.